I'm excited about it too, because in just 1 week I get inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it's a heck of an honor for me. It's something that I've thought about for a long time and didn't know when I was going to be able to get in, but they got me in pretty early, so it's an honor. I'm humbled, I really am. My whole family's going to be there. A lot of guests are going to be there. It's going to be one of the biggest days of my life, so I'm pumped about it. And the people from the Hall of Fame have been so great, and they're real organized and they're ready to go. But during that whole week, it's going to be a lot of activities going on. NASCAR Acceleration Weekend is going to be happening that weekend. People are going to be able to come down and see the new 2013 car, which is fabulous. I was in Daytona myself 2 weeks ago watching it test, and I really think because of that new car and a lot of the things that are going on for 13, this is probably going to be one of the best years we've ever had in NASCAR for racing. But it all starts with the Hall of Fame next week, February the 8th. And it's going to be a fun week. It really will be. So as you can tell in my voice, I'm pretty excited about it. I predict that 2013 will be the best year we've seen in many years in NASCAR because of that new Gen 6 car. It's so different, and there's been so much testing going in to developing that car. It's unreal. So NASCAR's got a lot at stake going into this year because of that. And I just can't wait to get down there. I mean, when you got something brand new, something everybody's anticipating, you're all itching to see how it's going to go. And so I went down there a couple weeks ago and watched preseason testing, and that car is fast. It's safer, it's quicker, it's lighter. There's a lot of cool things. And so I'm predicting that 2013 will be the best year the fans visually have seen, because they're going to see much more passing going on. There's more excitement about it. And the car looks more like the cars you drive on the street. I mean, the Ford looks like a Ford, the doggone Chevrolet looks like a Chevrolet, and the Toyota looks like a Toyota. It's not a basic car with a different decal package on. The cars have got different character lines, and they look like the real car. And that's what the fans have always wanted. So for all those reasons, I know 2013 will be better. I think the car tomorrow was a great car, a safe car, but the problem was the car was putting decent racing on, but not as good as it can be. And the Gen 6 car was a necessity. And Brian France really went out there and said, look, Robin Pemberton, John Darby, all the guys that are involved in the mechanical things in NASCAR, develop us a better car. Develop us a car that's going to be able to pass easier and get the job done better on the racetrack, where the NASCAR fans are going to notice it and like it. So they did that. There's been so much testing to happen this year. Robin's a great friend of mine, Robin Pemberton. And I talked to him quite a bit. And he said, and every time I talked to Robin, he was at a racetrack testing. So what they got is a car that's lighter, a car that's safer, a car that looks completely different than what you've seen. Now the car looks the same as the cars you drive on the street. The Chevy looks like a Chevy. The Ford looks like a Ford. The Toyota looks like a Toyota. It's not a generic car with a decal package on it. Now the individually looking cars. And all the testing that's happened, every single driver I've talked to said, my God, this car drives better, it's easier to pass, and the fans are going to love it. And I think the main reason this all helped was because they built a car that was lighter. And by building a lighter car, they were able to use a softer tire, and that softer tire really helped making the passing on the racetrack better, because it creates haves and have-nots. The tire needed to wear, and the old tire wouldn't wear out much, and that was good for Goodyear because it was durable, but it wasn't great for racing. So the racing's coming back in 13. I predict right here today that the racing in 2013 will be better than you've ever seen it. And short tracks like Bristol and Richmond and tracks like that, it's really going to put some great racing on. When it hits the world's fastest half mile of Bristol, Tennessee, it's going to be better. And here's the reason: because the tires are going to start wearing. You're going to go on restarts, the car's going to go like gangbusters. It's going to be fast. Then the cars that aren't handling so good, you're going to see them separate. So to see those cars out there running bumper to bumper, lap after lap, and nobody passing each other, you're not going to see that this year. There's going to be a lot of passing going on. It's going to be really exciting. And I predict that everything I just told you will come true. I know it will from my past experience and from what I've heard about this car. So it will be the best year for performance in NASCAR we've seen in a long, long time. And it's all because of this new design car. Well, there's been a lot of successes on the racetrack and off the racetrack, and Bristol, Tennessee has been one of my favorite tracks. I won there 9 times. Could have won 13 times when I look back at the victories that I lost in the last lap and stuff like that, but every driver has their favorite track. And Bristol was always my favorite racetrack, and it still is, because of the excitement, the high banks, what Bruton Smith and all the guys at that racetrack do for putting on good racing for everybody. But you know, next week will be a night that I can reminisce about all those great races I've had at all the tracks and all the 55 victories I've had. I know there'll be a lot of storytelling going on and a lot of things happening, but I'm humbled. I really am. I mentioned earlier that I'm excited to be in, and I am the youngest guy in the Hall of Fame, which I like that.